Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season, winners of 8 of their last 10. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
On 1st and 10, Snyder, and a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From nearby Norcross, Georgia, it's Alvin Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 21 carries, 85 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
Looking to throw. Snyder takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a second down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
Back to throw. Snyder looking middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. operating from the gun. Snyder. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Coleman, and he'll get this one up to the 26. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Weaver. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Coleman now. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 14 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, you can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Looking to throw. Snyder. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And they work this out past the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
A good pick up there at 22.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Here we go.
Again, this is Kamara. A little juke. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
On second down now, Scott. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Snyder, and this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's a good news, bad news proposition for them. Mostly good news, and that's that they have clinched a playoff spot. Bad news, if they want to make a Super Bowl for the moment at least, they'd have to do it out of the 6th and final spot.
Well, you know what I would do if I were leading up the coaching staff?
What's that?
I'd call everyone together and say, so what? We're in. That's all that matters. The only people who have to really worry about all of this now are the logistical people. They have to get us on the road. The equipment guys have to get stuff there. All we have to do is band together as a team and go play a game.
Man, I like that. I'm juiced up. I'm motivated. Let's play.
Let's go.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. This is Coleman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Drops it off for Coleman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. And before they can get settled in here, time expires. On the first quarter of action. 6-0 is our score. We're back to Atlanta in just a moment. This is the NFL, and you're watching EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Snyder goes right side, complete to Gronk. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. Blue line it.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Get up. Ready. Blue ladies. Ryan, 25 tonight.
Ryan now off the bootleg. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Stewart on 1st down. Muscles him off. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down, Ryan throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ryan now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Play action. It's Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Phillips. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To throw again is Ryan. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And look at this, it's a fake. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Coleman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara takes us up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Here we go now.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he'll go down at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Snyder. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though...
Oh, the Falcons fly in and they block it.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Now Ryan. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. His throw incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 3rd down, Ryan. And that will be incomplete as well.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the 1st down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the 1st down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the 1st down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around.
So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm like, well, all right, never mind. 3rd quarter action now. And here now come the Falcons. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On 1st down, Ryan. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And this will be caught at the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Looking to throw on second down. Snyder. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
From the gun on third down. Snyder, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference, defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1 yard line.
1 yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Operating from the gun, Snyder, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. DJ Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimum gain.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on a big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Here's Ryan to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return is Peterson. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Down to about the 22 here. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. The Saints on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Snyder. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue lining. Blue lining.
To throw on 2nd down, Snyder. Cordray Tankersley, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Back to throw. Snyder throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
They'll run it with Kamara, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. DJ Moore with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Ryan. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Got it. 25.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest, and a 1st down.
Here we go now.
On 1st down, Snyder. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's going to find his go-to man so far. That's Moore. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
Throwing on first down. Snyder looking middle. It's caught by Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Snyder. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll get to the 29-yard line. Brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores. Yeah,
they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw on 3rd down. Ryan, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Here we go.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here. And
they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Snyder. This will be caught at about the 5. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And certainly they are pleased to know that they will be in the postseason. They clinched a spot at least, but for now they'd have to make the run out of that last wild card spot, the 6 hole.
But how happy will they be to actually try to make that run?
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A nice gain of 21 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Ready.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now Ryan on 2nd down. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing again, Ryan. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Again, it's Kamara, and now running right through it. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for New Orleans, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.